Hey guys, what's up? It's Sla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides Wit Sla. And this is day, however many days it's been, of no walks with Sla, which honestly, it's probably an alright thing. I don't know. I mean, guess I have like conflicting feelings about it, I suppose. Like, should I or should I not? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And at this point, I feel like it's got to just be fate at this point. And you can't do much about fate other than try to go with the flow. So that's what we're doing. And yeah. Today was okay, went by very fast, the same usual. It's kind of weird. Let me just yep, we're good. All right. Yep. Good to go. All right. And finally time for the weekend after one of the most stressful weeks in a while, and we'll see where we are headed. As usual, you never know. You can never really know, what's next, but try to figure it out. You try to figure stuff out. You try to guess. You try to plan. At least I do. I guess most people don't, actually. So I'm saying these things like as if they're universal when they're really not. They're actually, hardly universal at all. So yeah, there's hardly anything universal about it. So it is what it is. Don't really know what else to say or mention about it. Yeah, and I guess I don't really know what I was going to make it another goofy episode, but then every time I get in a car and get on this mic, it's right back to serious mode. It's right back to like, life, serious mode, all that good stuff. It's weird. It's weird how that works. I don't know. I don't really have, I guess I don't really know where I'm heading. Like, I guess I'm ambitious in my mind, but in my action, I've pretty much fallen short of a lot of the like expectations. I thought by now I would have been recording more at home and, things like that, and actually getting a lot of like content going, and that never happened. So, it's kind of sad, it's kind of frustrating, and we're still trying to figure that out. Looks like as I thought, traffic would be pretty bad, but again, I kind of miscalculated things, and, here we are. It's going to be stuck in a bunch of junk. As usual. Well, not as usual. I mean, I haven't been in a while, but it's pretty difficult. Because I thought my hours were going to work out a certain way, and I don't really know why I did. I don't know why I thought they would, but they don't. So I had to stay like a little bit later, and then you get hit with traffic. So not a great situation. And to make matters worse, I don't have anything to talk about. I mean, the day in my life, it's going by so quickly. I don't even know how I have time to do anything. Does that make sense? Like, it's like I don't even hardly have a moment to catch my breath anymore. It's like I need the days to be longer. I need like a day to be like 30 hours and still only need to sleep for 8. Some kind of an extension like that is really what I need, because it's almost like things aren't boring enough. Things are like, I haven't really felt that bored recently. And yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm really saying right now or whatever, but I don't know why I feel that way. I mean, in a way, it's better. Like, I feel calmer. I've kind of already mentioned, I think, how I've intentionally tried to chill out a little bit, not be so existential like 24/7, because that's basically how it's been for quite a long time at this point. And I think that's working, but then, what do I talk about during the show? And how come I keep thinking in advance, oh, this time I'm going to be silly. This time, it's going to be different. And then it's not, you know? Like, why does that keep happening? Because if for some reason I can't seem to come to terms with that. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I keep like wanting to have like more of a fun, silly, or goofy episode, but then once I'm in the car, once we're recording, just like a different side of me is coming out. So, yeah, I guess, it is what it is, but yeah, what can you do? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? What on earth? The things I'm seeing people do right now is just, I just don't even. Oh my goodness. This is just like crazy. No, I think there's some sensibility to it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but it looks picklish. It don't look good. It looks picklish, It looks pretty picklish. Anyways, yeah, it was kind of stressful, but not sure what can be done. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to a break. I thought no, actually, this morning's Car Rides Wit Sla was terrible, so people watching this, like, chronologically are going to be kind of in for it. Um, like, it's not really going to make a lot of sense. Because, yeah, I mean, I do remember this morning's episode, like, it didn't really make a lot of sense, and I was delirious, yeah, because I woke up kind of late, and I didn't sleep very well. I wanted to start really sleeping longer, experimenting with that. Of course, my knee today was back to acting up. Yesterday it was fine, and that was the sleep. I don't know, I need to kind of force myself, but it's difficult to, especially when stuff comes up. And when you work, like obviously worked like a mega shift yesterday, and I'm doing it to myself voluntarily. I guess that's like the weird thing, is because, obviously not everybody's even doing it to themselves voluntarily. But here I am doing it voluntarily. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, this is just, I really have to, and you know what? I'm trying to think of a way to figure out how to do my time differently. But the truth is, I don't really think there's going to be a good answer. I just don't. It's just at that like point where if I stay late one day, like I don't know, I can't get any closer, which is like very frustrating. It's very frustrating, I think, you know. So I just but see, this is also cuz like this eats up, like you wonder how worth it is because of the traffic, cuz this is putting a lot of wear and waste on my car, and then it's also using a lot more fuel, and it's using up more of my time. So I guess you have to think about these things, you know. I guess you have to think about these things. But yeah, I have no idea, like for next week. I need like a break, which I will be getting one somewhat kind of soon, but I don't know. I just don't really know. Hmm. Yeah, this it just gets ridiculous here. Sorry for the lack of commentary, but it is more difficult with traffic and stuff. It just really, I mean, I don't know. I guess I spoil myself, but yeah, when I was first working, like I would just, clock out at the regular time, and I dealt with this like every single day. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like actually like insane that I did that. Um, but no, I don't really know what can be done. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad, I think it's really sad how messed up this stuff is. I always talk about it, but I don't know. I mean, like, what's the point? Like, because I think about it, I talk about solutions and stuff, and yet we're still, like, acting like we're in the 1900s. Basically acting like we're in the 1800s, you know? I mean, I'm fortunate enough to where I can avoid it for the most part, the traffic, because they're being flexible at my work for now. But yeah, I mean, it's really terrible. And I don't like how nobody can do anything about it. Like, it's really, because we can do things about it. There are changes that can be made, but nobody wants to make them. You know, like, that's really the problem. Nobody wants to actually improve things for people. And that's extremely frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. But I just can't believe it. Like, I was really hoping there just wouldn't be traffic. You know, it would be a nice thing, but that's just totally out of the question. You know? Getting pretty upset about it. Because again, like I said, I mean, you know, it just hasn't, things haven't been, man, like it's just, you know, really. Because it should have been fixed by now. We should have been doing things about this by now. I just can't believe how little people want to fix things and actually, like, let's start doing stuff. Let's start having the government do stuff, step in. Let's have, you know, business leaders start to step in, but they won't. They're just, you know, selfish people like anybody. They're not really, I mean, I've learned the hard and the obvious way that, like, you know, just like anybody else, they're not really any wiser despite their prestige. You know what I mean? It's just like weird. It's not good, it's not right. And like as usual, a bunch of people just not even letting me do anything. These people are just like, they're not figuring it out. Just chill. I mean, that's the other thing too. If everybody drove like me, there wouldn't be like jams, you know. It would be, I think I've mentioned this before, just slower, steadier traffic. But it wouldn't just be like a jam, you know what I mean? It's just because people like are really stupid. I don't know. But wow, I mean, I can't get over how bad it is. Like, it hasn't been this bad in so long for me. Probably like weeks. Like, I think if I knew it was going to be this bad, like, I would have just... Like I said, I mean, it really runs the risk of making, like, the job not even be worth it. Like, I don't even understand, like, how, you know, the wages we get paid are acceptable for this kind of stuff. And I don't even, like, I don't deal with the worst of it, but seriously, like, I just cannot get over that. But like I said, everything, it's just really haphazard. It's just so haphazard, everything. And you know, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be so negative, but this is the stuff like I want to do. This is what would make me feel better. You know, if we, you know, got involved and started having some very major fundamental changes to society, but I can't do it because nobody else is interested. That's the problem. So like my hobby, or what I would get my joy out of, is not there. Whereas for other people, their joy is accessible. It might be making a lot of money. It might just be changing things in a small way. So in their day-to-day life, Yeah, I mean, people might get depressed or things like that, but the truth is what a person thinks about or wants to do, they're going to be able to do. Because it's just, it's these little things. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing major. This is just ridiculous. I literally can't even believe how long it's going to take me to get home. I think my perception in my mind is like aggressively crossing its fingers and like really thinking, oh, we're eventually going to get to a point where, it starts to, and it's just not. And I'm seeing like I've already been talking for 21 minutes. That is crazy. We should be halfway home by now. We basically haven't even started the commute home yet. Basically haven't. But yeah, I think that's like a big thing about when I talk to people or when like I'd be wanting advice from people or my parents or whatever. They just don't know because like their goal, people are deeply selfish. And if you're selfish, it's not that difficult to be happy because like if I think if all my aspirations were selfish, I don't think I'd be complaining. But like that's not really going to give me satisfaction. Like I think in order for me to be satisfied, I need to know that the system is fixed. Like I just see things in a big way, and that's a much harder hurdle to get over. Right? And I mean, I've never really thought about it like this before, but again, for some people, their life and their joy is like just getting that cheeseburger at the end of the day. And that's it. Like they don't really have, they don't, they have these vague ideas of traffic being bad. They don't like it. They complain, you know, but when push comes to shove, like they're fine. They, as long as they have their cheeseburger or, like people just don't, they don't see things like they might think traffic's bad, but they only see it as like, they probably don't even see it as like a systemic or an existential human problem. Because I don't think humans really, like, they don't really, they just see, oh, traffic, oh, it's bad, oh, it can't be fixed, oh, whatever. Like that's how people think. And so when you have somebody who thinks like me, I think it's different. When you know there's a solution, you see how it could be implemented, and you want people to try it. You want people to say, okay, let's try this. Let's make some progress. Let's see something. And then you just don't, I don't know, you don't really see it. And it's really disappointing. I think it's like hard for me just in moment to moment to really be happy. And I've wanted to be more positive. I know, months and months ago at this point, like I was really trying to do that and I just didn't. Cuz it's just like that's what I want. That's what I want to be happy, and it's not an easy like fix. It's a difficult thing to fix. Because it's out of my control. I can't do anything about it. I just can't really do much. Like, it's going to be up to other people. And I think that's kind of just been a theme throughout my whole life is really, I think a lot of people, it may not be the case for them. Because a lot of people, they are potentially more antisocial or independent. They get their joy from, everybody gets their joy from different sources. And yeah, I mean, the result of that is kind of what I'm talking about now. Okay, how many people are gonna do this? Like, seriously. And yeah, my joy in general, it just doesn't result. It does not result from, like, not doing anything. I don't know. Sorry, it's just, oh my gosh, I was hoping it would be cleared up, but it's still, like, not. We're still not in the clear. I just cannot believe. I really can't believe this right now. Like, anyways. Yeah, I mean, normally by now we'd be over halfway home, whereas, like, I have to guess we're only, like, an eighth. Like, I'm so serious. This is just so crazy. I have to figure out a better thing to do. I just don't know what to do. Okay, what? Like, what is going on, dude? People are just, like, really making it hard. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what else to do other than this, but it's, like, horrible, you know? I just can't believe it. Sorry, bunch of thoughts, intrusive. And, like, I hope the clog is over with now, but I have a feeling we're going to hit another snag. Like, there's this usual spot. It's usually clogged up. Like, I really have a feeling. Okay, dude. These people. Anyways, yeah, I'm not that optimistic, honestly. Uh, uh, dude. Dude. Oh my gosh, these people, like, seriously. They move so, like, fast and weird. I just don't understand it. The moon looks pretty interesting tonight. At least I think that was the moon. I think it's like an orange large moon. I feel like we're getting those, like, all the time now. I thought they used to be, like, a rare thing or something. I don't really understand. Now it's like every single day there's one of these, like, big No, I'm over exaggerating. I mean, the last time one of these things happened, it was kind of a while ago. It's just weird too because it's so, like, low in the sky. I don't know. I think that's kind of, like, neat. Because the moon, like, is usually, like, way up high. Now it's, like, extra ultra low. You see this is, usually where the snag is. So let's find out. Because it's usually right around here, and if it's actually clear, yeah, it doesn't look like it is. I'm seeing brake lights in the distance. Oh, no, never mind. Nope. Still unsure. I wanted to take a picture of that moon, but I didn't. Nope. I'm right. I knew it. I knew it. I should have just trusted my gut that we were gonna hit another 20-minute snag, Just cannot get over this stuff. I know in that one I was positive enough that but the positive transmutation, it was never based on anything. I don't know, yeah, I was able to be positive, but I don't think it's not true to my soul. It's just some random thing that I can force myself to do in the moment. But my soul wants to grieve, it really wants to grieve at moments like this. It's going to take me an hour to get home for no good reason, because we still have infrastructure and systems set up that don't make any sense. And it's really, somebody needs to get, there needs to be some people punished, and some people in power who get punished for not doing this kind of stuff. I just don't. But yeah, I mean, I was expecting this, but I was hoping it wouldn't be the case. I was really hoping it wouldn't be the case. I feel like I should be home now. I should be right around home now. I think we're still not really halfway home. We're really not. You know what I mean? I just can't believe it. But yeah, I know there was a time I really tried, and I was really trying to be joyful about things and not letting stuff get to me as much, but there's just so many things that should, there's zero excuse for traffic to even still be a problem. It's not, we should be so far past that. Why is nobody doing anything about it? It just doesn't make any sense. Come on, let's get moving with some solutions for this stuff, Let's get to work. Let's start figuring things out. And yeah, I don't know what it is. If people just don't care, if they're just selfish because it doesn't affect them directly, I don't get it at all. It's just really. So I don't know. I want to be that person who, because being upset, it's not special to be upset. It's not special to be upset, and it's fine for me to look at these things and realize these things, but in my own personal life, I need to learn to be selectively selfish about stuff and just not think it matters. I guess it's always a perspective thing. I mean, I think one of the things that it's pretty depressing but I also feel like there's truth to it. I guess the reason why it's difficult to tackle is because it's like liberating and scary at the same time. It's our concept of time and our perception of time, and as humans, one of the biggest things that we do is look forward to things. Like we're always thinking about what's next, and like, ooh, like there's going to be a party later, and getting really excited for it. And I'm like an exaggerated version of this, where it's to the point where, if there's something good coming up, I'm really happy about it. If there's something bad coming up, I'm miserable about it. You know what I mean? And it's always like the anticipation for me. I love anticipation. Love being able to look forward to things too. I hate when stuff is random and sporadic, and it's a lower level of humanity, but sadly it's where a lot of humans are. That's just where they're at. Now, you kind of, for a while, a lot of humans did actually have structure and tradition and these things, and I think they're happier as a result of that. I think the humans that live in the freedom that everybody craves, they just end up miserable. It's a lot of people who are miserable, and then they just end up looking to escape the freedom, with drugs, alcohol, things like that. People who are free end up down like a hedonistic path that, it's not worth it. Doesn't really end up benefiting them or changing them for the better or anything like that. But yeah, it really reminds me, I don't know how I put up with this. I don't know that I'd like, I don't know if I could mentally like do it. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I want people to get punished, start getting punished, and start, like, the problems that are in society, the people in any position of power, whether it's a business owner or a politician at all levels, the local politicians, the federal, they need to have, again, everybody brain chipped, intrusive thoughts. You are a terrible person for not fixing this. Do it. And maybe it is ignorance. Maybe some of these elected officials are just people there because they won the popularity contest, because that's kind of how democracy works. I don't know. But once you have a central AI that can go through and figure out, this is how things need to go, here's the solution, let's do it, we could already be there now. But the people in these positions, I don't even think they'd want to use it. They wouldn't really want to use like AI, which is a shame, but no, it's true. I don't think these people are really that interested in using it. But yeah, I do think that's like a good point, is that as I've, and the worst part is, I think my heartache, it really has only gotten worse, because like the more and more I get older, you obviously get more and more aware of like the world. And it does make me, again, like it does make me feel more interested in the idea of a religion, because like it makes a lot of sense. If there's no justice here, I would at least hope that these people are going to get brutally punished in the afterlife, you know? And even me, so be it. If I'm not really doing the right thing or whatever, so be it. I should be punished fairly for my mistakes, or like, I don't know. I'm not like not including myself, you know what I'm saying? I try, but I know I've done like a lot of stuff that's like not wasn't right or whatever, but especially when it comes to money though, like a lot of it, it's like I don't even know if I'm doing the wrong thing by like avoiding engaging with. I just like, man, it's hurt me getting so like involved with money. Like I shouldn't even, all those deals and like blowing it all on all this stuff. It's like, imagine if I was free. Imagine if I was just free and I wasn't strapped down by all these numbers all the time. You know what I mean? But man, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. What I was going to talk about, sorry, I got very off track. At least I'm starting to enjoy myself a little bit here, because I'm finally getting into the mood of talking and finding things to talk about. I guess it just takes a while. One of the things I'm most scared about and like depressed about is that looking forward to thing. It doesn't feel very real to me. Like there's not really ever anything to look forward to. It's like you go to work and then you come home and then it's like kind of the same thing. Like you're still yourself. Nothing fundamentally changes. Of course, things you interact with in your environment change. That's for sure. But things you interact with in your environment change. But it's your fundamental feeling. And I noticed this in school. It's like you get so dreadful about school, and then you get so excited and happy when the day's over and it's like, yay, like it's time to go. But then, I mean, you go home and it's like, I don't, it's kind of the same. You're still in your mind. You're still in your body. You're not free from anything really. And I wonder if it's almost like, is that something we get programmed into because we go to school and job? And really, I'm not going to say because we go to school and job. I'm going to say because we live in the world, and like you obviously have to work to, survive and things like that. So, of course it's yeah. Like, you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's like, oh well, it's school specific programming. No, it's more like just material world, like just being incarnate in this world. Um, you learn that, and then the things you achieve like they don't even seem like worth it. I don't know. Does that make sense? That's what it seems like to me. Although I have, like I said, I mean, I have like all the tech stuff I've wanted now. Like, I don't know, so I should be happy about that, right? Should be happy about it. But yeah, no, but it's that sorry, I'm still I'm still not even saying what I'm going to talk about, but hey, I'm enjoying what I'm saying. I don't care about the traffic anymore. I think it just took me a little bit of time to like get the gears turning or whatever. Um, yeah, it just took me a little while to get the gears turning, but I think we're getting to something. I mean, I've probably talked about this concept before, or at least touched on it in general. I probably have, but again, it's like time. It almost feels like you're always you, and regardless of the things you do, you're still you. I know, like, it sounds stupid, but I think it's like an awareness thing that most people don't realize. And it's like, I've been feeling this way since I was in high school. You know, it's like a mystical thing. Like, you don't, everything happens so fast, you never really have a chance to even breathe and process what's in front of you. We hunger for, you know, comfort and to be sedated, like, almost constantly. It's basically what the world revolves around, is like sedation. It's really what a lot of people are doing, and you really have to wonder, like, what that means as a species when more and more of the species is literally, it's choosing escapism from things. It's people just being very unhealthy and not caring, and then you don't only see it in developed society, but we see more of these issues exacerbated in developed society, but not everybody. Not everyone. There are people in developed society who are okay. You know, but back to the times there, the reason why I say that it's scary is because it almost, I mean, you either go into like an infinite depression, or you, I guess, could unlock infinite joy. But like, for some reason, for me, it was always like a depression. I don't know, because again, my whole life is looking forward to things, but I guess you could play a mental trick on yourself and basically always try to think of something to look forward to. As difficult as that is, it is possible to do that. Yeah, we're not gonna, it's gonna be like an hour, so that was the worst traffic coming home. I mean, I literally don't even know. I mean, that literally was like the worst traffic coming home in like months. I can't even remember. No, I come to think of it, there was a time recently where that happened. I don't really know. But you know what? Like, well, no, leaving earlier usually is better, but on Fridays specifically, I've found some Fridays it's still just traffic. Like, I don't really get it. I don't like it. I don't get it. but it is. I don't like it. I don't get it. But it's it. You know? So, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I guess talking to myself, and that does help me get through anything, really. Traffic, you know, it was hard to get there, but eventually, and that's like a skill, like, even that, like, it's something I might take for granted sometimes, because most people, they can't even do that, you know? But the other thing, too, is, like, because I'm doing this show, like, there's other things I could be doing. I could be listening to music. I could just be chilling, you know? Like, so where do you square that? Would it be better for me to just have the mic set up and then, like, I don't know, just only record when I feel like I do have something relevant to say? So it's a bunch of, like, smaller videos. And that would probably make a lot of sense, although, no, that actually, I might be onto something there. Because then I could have, like, a ton of videos, and I could be, like, listening to music, and then when I think of something, just shut the music off, say it. it's just weird how much things have changed, you know. It's strange how much things have changed. Like how much my life has changed. In some ways I feel like I've regressed, but in other ways I've definitely come a long way. So there's easily, you know, two different perspectives there. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, the time thing, because that is sort of like a God level. Is it's like you're not really ruled by time. But it's not something like I can just always tap into, because obviously there are times like, but it's probably something I should really be mindful of. Whenever I feel bored, whenever I notice time being slower, like realize that there is a truth. There is this truth. And the truth is, like, you know, it doesn't really matter how bored you are or whatever. It's just everything kind of leads to the same thing. Like, you can't even. I feel like we start as humanity, we're going to start to explore these topics. The like more and more, further and further we get thrust into the deep trenches of hedonism. It's probably going to give us like a little bit more philosophical insight into it, like, because there's like a pain in that, but it's a pain that you could honestly start to see more monks as a result of that progress. Because, like, again, if you don't actually do stuff that your heart desire, like, that's kind of the argument with that, you know, like maybe hedonism, it leads to some kind of greater awareness about things. And either way, the pain is the same, because somebody who never does or never know, well, it's risky though, because once you know, it's hard to undo. And that's kind of that's the huge danger of hedonism, because once you're aware of something, or once you know something is that, you know, it's the obvious example is with the really severe drugs, but in the same sense, it's like a life or a lifestyle. It's like a similar way. It's like once you know something is so good, it's hard to, you're never going to forget it. You're just never going to forget it. You know what I mean? It's never going to happen. But I feel like it, and yeah, I feel like it just leads to moments like this. And I guess I could be just listening to music and like continuing to drone it all out. But I think part of my purpose is to narrate it. Part of the reason why maybe I've went through the things I've went through, it's to be able to narrate it, right? Because a lot of people in the thick of technology addiction and this issue, like, they're not narrating it. For some reason, I'm able to narrate it, and I'm like posting it. Most people, I don't know, like, they just would never do this. They wouldn't record it. They wouldn't go through the effort. They wouldn't have the microphone. Again, like in my car right now, I could just be perpetuating it more, you know? But instead, it's just different. No, I don't know what I honestly don't even know what I was, like, at the point of what I was saying there. But Yeah, no, I think it's like what I'm saying is real. Like there's probably a higher point humans get to, but the problem is it leads to, and this is something I've thought about before. Like there's been moments I've probably able to be like I've laughed so much, I've gotten such high amount of enjoyment out of such little that like for me in my brain it's just hard to like go back to that or like to live after I've felt that. Like I feel like I've never used drugs, but I've felt a higher high than like anybody. I feel like that. I feel like, a part of me loves people, it loves life. And, but then again, and then my brain is also a very good calculator and optimizer. So it's like optimized all these things, but it gets to the point where like there's not really much else to optimize. Like there's no more hedonistic proverbial juice to squeeze out of the fruit. And I guess that's like the point I'm at now where it's like, it's a little bit more difficult for me to figure this stuff out cuz like what do I do now? There's not really another person in this world who wants, like I've just never met a person at my level. I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible someday I would, but it's just it's isolating, it's lonely, but again, like I said, I felt better about things more recently, and I'm actually hopeful about like the surveillance of society because I would love like a world where everybody was tracked and given just an honest, accurate verdict on their life and given what they deserve. And it just seems like something I'm pretty excited for. I just love things being tracked and I love data and numbers and stuff. So while everybody else is pretty unhappy, I happen to fancy the direction humanity is going in. And I think like in time, a lot of people aren't going to like it and be hurt by it, and potentially me as well, but at least maybe I would be happy like with things finally. I don't know. It's weird, but when I'm seeing like the coverage of these things, like I just don't have any problem with it. Like I just really want it. I feel like I mean, I'm a weirdo for it. Like, I get that. And I know there's definite qualms about the morals and the ethics of these things, but there's like a joy to me. Like, finally, like everything would be tracked and I would have, like, there's such a joy to that. You know what I mean? Like, and just everybody's skeletons are out of their closet and, we can finally just vibe as a humanity. But see, the problem is, I think people would still be lousy. Even with all that, they'd still be lousy. They'd still just be lousy as people. Like, because the thing is, even now, like right now, I'm already ready. I'm already ready to have like really deep, good connections with people, and nobody's ready. Not one person. I've never met a person who's ready for the level of bond that I want, that I think about, that I give. I never get reciprocated what I give to anybody, not family, not friends, not relationships I've been in. And that's just not something a lot of people know. They just don't know. They don't even know. They don't even have a bearing on a lot of this stuff. They just get stressed about being tracked, and they should be probably because it's going to hurt them. But I think if it hurts me, that's fine. I would hope from the afterlife I am in a better place than I am now, and I would at least see that things had improved. But I know for certain, like, I'm putting this stuff on YouTube for a reason. These people should see what I'm talking about and kind of like get with the program and see, like, I should be doing stuff. I should be like really making moves with things and doing something. I don't know what my role is in this, in the modernization of things, but it's definitely somewhere doing something. I don't know. So but yes, it is what it is. I mean, I have to be grateful for what I have, of course, and yeah. It's just, you try to do what you can, really. We're all trying to figure things out, I guess, just at different rates. But I think most of us aren't really trying to figure anything out. If I'm being honest, I just don't. I really think a lot of people just don't. They're not trying to figure anything out, like I said. Just minimal. Just, again, like I said, their cheeseburger, all that stuff, that's their life, and that's it. Like, I don't know. It's a shame. It's weird. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But again, the series, the show, the recording, it's been good. It's been a very good outlet for me. And at least I have some stuff recorded and put on there. Like, for once, there is a point in my life that is very thoroughly documented. Like, I've always wanted that, and even if I stopped doing it, that section was thoroughly documented. There is really not anything that could have possibly been missed. And I guess in the future, if my mindsets, my opinions theoretically evolve, we can really have like a good conversation because we can see so well documented how things are. But yeah, that was a thought I had today. Like, I had a thought in my head, something like, I won't be happy until every thought is tracked, some like hyper surveillance opinion of mine. I don't really know. And yeah. But yeah, we're finally home. I do think it's a record for. Yeah, it probably is a record for getting home. A bad record. Because I'm saying it's a record. That's kind of vague, That's not really super. Makes it almost sound like it's a good thing. Like, it is not a good record. Anyways, it's been Sla, and now it's time to buy Sla. So, see ya, Sla.